I've had bouts with depression throughout my career, but man, when it hits me, it's bad.
Which kind of brings us to the airport incident.
Yeah, I really messed up.
Man, you and her.
What happened?
So it's Father's Day, and I felt good in the morning. I spent the morning with my kids, but then as I was traveling to work, I felt that feeling again. It's like a cloud in my head that I just can't get out from under. So I started drinking.
I'll fight you right now.
No, I don't want to fight, bro.
And my emotions got the best of me.
Bro, relax, bro. Relax.
Got arrested.
This guy's a UFC fighter.
Did I just ruin everything that I was working for? I don't know yet. And it could have been so much worse.
But what was going on in your mind?
Where I was angry at the world, and I just couldn't stop thinking about my father. He's actually homeless right now. And I try to help him out, and he's back out on the street. Not that anything's an excuse, but it wasn't myself. And I never really spoke about it until right now, but I'm back in therapy. And when you sit down with somebody and start opening things up, you realize this could be linked to my childhood.
And when I think about your earliest context, you got a father that's an alcoholic, violence in the home, and your mum said that you were an alcoholic kid.
I started drinking at 12, 13.
Expelled from school as well.
And got arrested, and I didn't have any goals.
So it was a bit of a roller coaster. But what happened? You rose.
Dustin! One of the best lightweights in the world.
I was on top of the world.
But the roller coasters go down too, and this was the moment.
Yeah, man.
July 30th, you retired. How does it feel looking at that photo?
Yeah, I'm trying not to tear up, dude. It was my life, man. Those gloves, me putting them on the mat is a piece of myself I left. But a wise man said, if a man's lucky, he gets to die twice. That part of me, that every day wake up, push yourself to be the best fighter you can be, is dead. I'm retired Dustin. I'm businessman Dustin now. It's just, I'm trying to figure it all out. Because for 20 years I was dreaming about being the best. I just want to dream again,
Has there ever been anything that compared?
No, nothing fills that void of what fighting was. And fighting was a part of therapy for me. And some days I wake up and I'm like, these top guys that are winning now on these upcoming cards, I can beat them still.
So is there any possibility that you ever return to the UFC?
Something I want to highlight in this video of Dustin Poirier. He's been fighting for so long that it's a part of who he is. It's something that it's going to be hard for him to detach himself from. If you've been a UFC fan and a fan of Dustin Poirier, every single fight he fights, you'll notice that he has this tick of pulling up his shorts every single time. And in this video, we just saw him pulling up his pants again. You can see that it's still in him. It's still a part of him. That side of him hasn't left yet. The first thing he wanted to do was to fight. He wanted to fight there and then because that's how he solved his issues. That's how he made his money. That's how he made his living. But at the end of this incident, you see him again hand himself over to the officers and tell them to arrest him. That's the proof that he's still a human being regardless of the situation. This man has been fighting for over 15, 20 years, I'm not mistaken. Right? That's it. Fighting is embedded in him. And now there's this moment of witness that he has, and why I'm speaking on this is because the media came after him and started bashing him and making him look like a bad man. Dustin's not a bad man. Dustin spent his whole entire life so far to be the best there is in the MMA world. He spent his entire life to be the best there is in the MMA world. That DNA strand, his DNA strand has morphed into being a fighter. So at any occasion that he gets, that triggers him, the first reaction is going to be to fight. It's going to be to fight. And now that he's moved away from that, the identity of Dustin Poirier has to change. And that's where the battle is for him. Now, he thought alcohol would help him resolve that, but it's not a solution. We all know alcohol is not a permanent solution for anything. Alcohol doesn't solve anything. Alcohol just makes you numb for the moment. It makes you forget whatever it is you're going through at that current moment. But when you wake up the next day, you're going to be sober and you still have to deal with whatever it is that you tried escaping from. And at least one thing I love about Dustin is at least he was open enough to actually admit that he's got a problem with drinking. And it's up to us as fans, his family, his close ones, to actually help him get through that. Men are not always strong or invincible or untouchable or just, strong figure that don't break down. Men break down, and it's normal. We as a society, as fans, have to embrace it. Look at Conor as well. When Conor reached at his peak, made his money. After the fight with Floyd Mayweather, Conor also went on some weird spree of madness. Started doing the most weirdest stuff. He got into him. He opened up he started a whiskey brand and started doing cocaine and partying with. And look, man, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Conor also just went on another spree. We also have John Jones. These fighters outside of the cage are still human beings. There are very few of them. Very few. And even the few themselves, look at DC. Okay, DC is one of the most respected UFC fighters there is. DC considers himself as well as one of the most unproblematic fighters, right? But even he has a story. Him and his wife didn't get along too well. They are still human beings. So to bash Dustin Poirier for this moment of weakness, for me, it's honestly unfair. It's honestly unfair. Okay, mental health doesn't care how strong you are. And in fact, we train our minds to deal with things in a certain way. And then when things change, we need to readjust our mind to the change. And that's what Dustin's undergoing right now. For years, he was a fighter. Train, study fights, prepare for fights, fight camps, sleep, fight, chase that UFC gold. That was life for the longest of time. Every single year, Dustin had a fight. Unless he was injured, then maybe he'll take a year off. But every single year, Dustin had a fight. So every single year, Dustin was always preparing for another fight. And now that he's retired, and in fact, during that time, that was his mindset. It was like, I've got a fight coming, and to pray for the fight. And that was his mindset, right? But now that he's done fighting, that mindset needs to switch. And it can't switch by itself. It just can't switch by itself. You don't just wake up one morning and boom, you're a new person. It's a process. And we need to help him and not bash him. We shouldn't be bashing him, man. I do honestly, kudos to Dustin for being able to actually open up. A lot of men don't open up about their problems. Dustin opened up his problems to say, look, I have an alcohol problem. There was an interview. I can't remember what UFC card it was. I don't know if there was a White House card. Nobody asked Dustin, so how's life been after retirement? Dustin says, sometimes I'm at my best, sometimes I'm at my worst. And that's just how life's supposed to be. We can't hold this man at a standard of perfection. There's no man who's perfect. So it's very unfair for us to hold him at a standard of perfection. We're supposed to help him. The fact that he's already come up and admitted to having an alcohol problem is enough for us to be like, let's do something for our man.